2018 Silicon Valley Agtech Conference, where we just heard a presentation, a panel discussion on supply chain technologies for safety, transparency, and data management. And I'm here with the moderator of that panel, Jaleh Daie, founder and chair of the AgFood Tech Special Interest Group for the Band of Angels. So thanks for sitting down with me for a couple of minutes. And I wonder if I could just ask you, any big thoughts that came out of your panel today, the panel discussion?
Well, first, thank you for having me. It was a very exciting panel. They had great ideas and deep domain expertise. I think the idea that came out, I am not a specialist in supply chain, that what I learned today was that there are incredible opportunities and unmet needs in that area. As you well know, so much of the last few years of investment has been concentrated in the precision ag and on-farm kind of technologies. So what we hear from people who are involved in supply chain is it's surprising because not much investment capital or even entrepreneurs who are going to bootstrap something are going in this area, and yet opportunities are tremendous because a lot of the margins that can be made in a low margin industry like agriculture is to remove the inefficiencies in the supply chain, minimizing risk of waste, on-demand, in-time delivery and inventory tracking. So there's tremendous opportunities that can improve margins in agriculture, and yet we don't see a lot of new technology there.
So as an investor with Band of Angels, is this an area that's interesting to you as an investment thesis?
Of course, I mean, at the Band of Angels, we invest across the board. Now, my own domain expertise is agriculture and food, so that's why where I focus, but we have people who can look at software, AI, hardware, whatever. And so we have the domain expertise within the band to invest across the board. So when we see something that addresses a big need, big market, with a proven technology or with good IP protection, sure, we invest in any area.
So can you talk, just the last question here, are these the sorts of technologies that you think have a role in solving some of big problems, such as sustainability, environmental issues, food security, food safety? Is that what you're seeing in some of these supply chain technologies?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I think waste management is a huge part of sustainability, or lack thereof. 30 to 40% of the food is estimated to be wasted. The minute it leaves the ground or a tree or whatever the product might be, it's being wasted if we don't handle it properly, handle it, transport it, store it properly. So the more technologies we come up with that would mitigate these kind of risks, obviously that is a big chunk of addressing the sustainability.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for being here. Jaleh Daie from Band of Angels. This is Royse. We're at the 2018 Silicon Valley AgTech